What is going on, my fellow navigators, and welcome back to another episode of the Pokemon News, where I, PokéNav, bring you all of the latest developments concerning the Pokemon TCG. But before we jump into today's top stories, guys, you know what to do. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, especially if you like learning more about the developments within the Pokemon card world. And go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become a part of this amazing community. And last but not least, go ahead and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss a single video. And with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and jump into today's episode of the Pokemon News. So for our first bit of news here today, this one is a little bit outdated, but some of you might not be familiar with it. And it is that a Charizard First Edition Holo just recently sold for $72,988. And this is in a Beckett 9.5. So this was sold by PWCC Auctions, one of the bigger auction houses in the nation. And if we go ahead and click on the link here, we can actually go to the bids that occurred for this particular item. And as you can see here, started out around, let's see, so started out at about $777, quickly worked its way up into the 4-digit mark, and then as you can see over the course of time just grew tremendously, and that final winning bid was $72,988 on the 27th. And the reason that I wanted to bring this up here today is that with this card being a BGS 9.5, this leaves a lot to question as to what this card might have sold for in a PSA 10. Obviously, you all know that a BGS 9.5 very often has the prospect of coming back a PSA 10. Not always, but much of the time when that card comes back in a Beckett 9.5, it has a very good chance of coming back as a PSA 10. And obviously a PSA 10 is much more valuable than a Beckett 9.5. You can see a pretty good increase in price just by that 0.5 increase. And so the other reason that I wanted to bring this up here today is that with this current sale, going for basically $73,000, this Charizard is now encroaching upon the actual value of an entire first edition booster box. Those first edition booster boxes are going for, about $100,000 now. And it leaves a lot to question as to whether, if this card came back in a PSA 10, if the new prices for the Charizard, which is really the holy grail, as many of you know, of graded Pokemon cards, it leaves a lot of us to wonder if this card is actually becoming closer in value to the entire booster box. And if that's the case, then a lot of investors, a lot of collectors out there may be asking themselves if it's not worth purchasing first edition booster boxes and actually taking the gamble of busting them open and trying to get that Charizard and ultimately trying to get it back in, even a BGS 9.5, but ultimately a PSA 10, which in all reality is going to be close to that total sale price of the booster box. And that's notwithstanding all of the other cards that you may be able to pull out of that set. So I thought this was pretty cool. Like I said, it was back on July 7th, so it's about a week old. But for many of you, you may not be familiar with this, and I wanted to bring it up here today because along with some of the newer products that we're going to be discussing here today, I also like to give a little bit of a pulse on the market in general, especially when it comes to vintage products. All right, and jumping into our next big topic of the day, our next big news story, that is we're going to our trusted source, PokeBeach. If you haven't checked out PokeBeach, please go ahead and do so. It's where I get a lot of my information, especially regarding newer sets. And as you can see here, another Champions Path V-Box and a new League Battle deck is going to be released in November. So it looks like we've got a teased product outside of the original product line, and it's going to be a V-Box that is set to release in November. So it's going to include one Pokemon V promo card, a jumbo version, 4 booster packs, and a Pokemon trading card game online code card. And then it will retail for $19.99. And this is similar to the Dubwool and the Hatterene V boxes that I actually discussed in the last news episode. So as you can see here, we'll jump on over to the original product line. And if you haven't done so, go ahead and check out last week's news episode, and I break down all of this. But as you can see here, we've got the Dubwool V and the Hatterene V boxes, and those will be released on September 25th and October 23rd, respectively. Now, as far as this new V box, we don't have information as of yet as to who will be featured on the V box. So what I want you guys to go ahead and do for me is down in the comments below, go ahead and give me your guess as to what Pokemon you think is going to be on this new V box come November. And then along with that V box news, we also got news that another League Battle Deck is going to be released, and this is going to be set to be released on November 20th. So if you guys are familiar with the League Battle Decks, I'll give you an example here. This was one of the last League Battle Decks to be revealed, and some of the things that come along in this one is 3 promo cards, 2 condition markers, a GX marker, 7 dice, a rulebook, quick start guide, a deck box, and an online code card. So, you know, pretty cool here. Again, we don't know exactly what Pokemon are going to be featured on this League Battle Deck. So it leaves a lot to the imagination. Some of the information that we've got so far has, I think, erroneously used some of the GX cards instead of the Pokemon V cards. So we don't have the information just yet. I would imagine that they would feature the Pokemon V cards instead of the outdated GX cards, but we just have to wait and see on that particular information. But a pretty cool drop here. We're going to be getting more product, so just to add to some of the extensive list of products that have already been announced, you guys can go ahead and get excited for the V-Box in November, and then the League Battle Deck, which will be coming out at the end of November as well. And in other news, guys, TPCI has revealed the set logo for Vivid Voltage. This is Sword and Shield's 4th set, which we will see in November, and the new set logo has just been revealed. It was shown in an email as usual, which is sent out to tournament organizers for pre-release signups. So we now have the official logo. And just so you guys know, this set will have an early release date of November 9th, and the pre-release will take place October 31st through November 8th. So I discussed in my last video, if you guys haven't seen that yet, go ahead and check it out. But in that video, I recommended that one of the undervalued items that many collectors are overlooking are those pre-release build and battle decks. Now, it hasn't been announced if these build and battle decks will be available for the Vivid Voltage, but they have been available for all of the previous sets. So I would definitely be on the lookout for that once we get a little bit closer to that pre-release period, because I do think those will be a few good products to go ahead and pick up and possibly hold on to for the long term. And continuing with this discussion on Vivid Voltage, we also just got an announcement that the first Ultra Premium Collection boxes are going to be available for this set. So this Ultra Premium Collection is the newest product that the Pokemon Company is offering. And what this is kind of a souped up version of an Elite Trainer box. So the product will include a whopping 16 booster packs, 2 promo cards, 2 sets of dice, 2 coins, 2 sets of sleeves, a player's guide, a rule book, condition markers, and an online code card. Basically, You can see here, it basically doubles everything that comes in an Elite Trainer box, but it also has 2 promos. It actually reminds me a lot of the Shining Legends Super Premium Collection. I just picked a couple of these up off of Pokemon Center. They sold out really fast, so they're not on there anymore to my knowledge. But I just picked a couple of these up on Pokemon Center, and this new Ultra Premium Collection seems very familiar to that Super Premium Collection. It's kind of, to me, kind of a mashup of an Elite Trainer box and that Super Premium Collection. So this will be really cool. It looks like it's going to cost around $80, and it will be released on November 13th. And it'll be the same day as all of Vivid Voltage products. So really cool here, something more that we have to look forward to. I hate to do this in these news episodes because I'm probably breaking the bank for many of you with all of this hype. But it is going to be an awesome second half of the year. A lot of cool products coming out. Really cool to also see that logo for Vivid Voltage, which I think is going to be an awesome set and one that I think is going to have a lot of really nice products for both collectors and investors. So something to really look forward to there. So that is going to do it for today's episode of the Pokemon News. Hopefully this information has been valuable to you and you'll be able to go out and find some of these products that are going to be dropping here very, very soon. Other than that, guys, my name is PokéNav. I am here to help you navigate the world of Pokemon one video at a time, and I will see you all in the next video.